up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. Today, we are reacting to an article from BuzzFeed that talks about how women over 30 are discussing their career regrets, and I'm honestly taking notes on all of the insight they're giving is the title. So let's look at this article and see what the ladies are saying. We spend our whole lives hearing, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" But very seldom do we hear about the regret that can go into spontaneously choosing a lifelong career. It's scary to think about working day in and day out for the rest of your life at the same mundane job, or worse, a job that was never meant for you. So when Reddit user Midwestern Mom Max 2 posed the question, "Do you have any career regrets?" in Ask Women Over 30, I knew the answers would definitely hold some deeper insight. Number 1, I'm currently working a low-paying job for amazing benefits because my husband agreed to take more on money-wise. He left me on Monday, so now I'm wondering if I can stay in a low-paying job and get medical benefits or go to a better-paying job. I regret putting myself in this position. I should have stayed at the higher-paying job. Number 2, I thought I needed to meet 90% of the requirements on a job to apply. I now know that I should totally go for jobs I'm interested in, even if I only meet 50 to 60% of requirements. And you see the difference between men and women. Women are more rule followers. Men are more of what works. So that's why we're really good at like regurgitating information, or like we're really good at nagging men to follow the rules. But women, I guess the rules that benefit us, not like the rule of staying married or anything. But you see what I'm saying? Men, they're a lot more likely to just go for the job because it pays more. Number 3, I'm a pediatrician. I love kids. I love building relationships with families, and I love learning. The science of medicine never gets boring. It's tons of changing. It's interesting, and there's a lot of variety. But knowing what I know now, I wouldn't do it. Simply put, it's really hard to be a doctor. And sure, that seems obvious on its own, but there are so many lies about becoming a doctor that are sold to medical students. So here is somebody that chose the career path of being a doctor. And as you know, most women will quit being doctors by the time they're 40. So the challenge we get is that women, we just have a tendency to sign up for things for the award and the title and not really think about the day-to-day experience. So here's what this Reddit user said. In my experience, one of them was that the painful, isolating, and exhausting sacrifice of training will yield a better life. I don't think that's true. Yes, medical school and residency were peak miserable times of my life, but after training, my work hasn't exactly been hard. Yes, medical school and residency were peak miserable times of my life, but after training, my work life hasn't exactly been much easier than training. Even my dream job on paper was incredibly hard. I worked 10 to 12-hour days, was on call all the time, and had hours of charting to do every night, and was underpaid in lieu of how much cash flow I brought into my practice. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a soft work life, or at the very least, a work where the stakes aren't so high all the time and do, in fact, end. As most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing the societal issues that we discuss on this show. Did you know that the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every single week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what the average was 50 years ago. Testosterone levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Chalk, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Chalk's Male Vitality Stat contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the many Ingredients in the male vitality stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost total testosterone 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity, you're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack right now on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name Pearl as your coupon code and you'll get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name Pearl is the discount code. Yeah, so this is what we get a lot of times, the idea. Like women, we have a tendency to just like the white coat. We have a tendency to like the dress up of a job, but not actually doing the job. That's why when the jobs get hard, we have a tendency to quit. Number 4, I wish I had followed my heart and gone to school for something I actually love instead of what would have given me the potential for a lucrative career. I'm in a pretty well-paid job now, but I don't like going to work, and that sucks. Yeah, so again, women, we fought all this time to go to work, and we did realize it was actually hard, and some women, they wish they could stay home. I regret that we need careers Number 5, I regret that we need careers. I have 2 degrees in art history, but ended up being a project manager because it pays better than anything in the field that does, at least when starting out. Honestly, if we could actually live in the US on minimum wage and didn't have to worry about health insurance, I would go back to working in a bookstore and spend the rest of my days stocking shelves and talking to people about books. Well, women are the ones that are told to follow our passion. Men are told to make money, and you can see this by the overwhelming abundance of men in STEM, where women don't tend to go into those fields. 6, my career is mostly regrets. I regret going to law school. I regret doing corporate law. I regret even doing more public interest-oriented law. The only thing I don't regret is eventually striking out on my own. I think if I had the chance to go back in time, I'd have done something in organizational psychology and probably some kind of strategic consulting. Basically, everyone I know who went into that line of work confirmed that it's not easy, can get stressful, but is usually dynamic and fun. I would have much preferred that type of career to something as uptight as the practice of law. Number 7, I regret staying home to raise my kids. These poor kids. I need to work to occupy my brain, and I feel like I've gotten dumber because I stayed home. A lot of housewives are lazy, I'll tell you what. Again, my grandma had 9 kids, so I'll hear these housewives saying they're overwhelmed, and I'm like, you got one child. My grandma still worked part-time when the kids were of a certain age. 8, letting a sense of duty or loyalty determine whether I stayed at a job instead of my own well-being. There are jobs that I knew right away were negatively impacting my mental health and stayed years hoping it would get better or being worried about leaving my coworkers in the lurch. Companies can, have, and will survive without me. It's not my fault if they routinely understaff. My intuition is usually right. If there are red flags I see in the first few weeks, those are unlikely to significantly change. And women too, yeah, and men, in people. In the future, I will set a timeline and the types of changes I need to see by then if I'm going to choose to stay. If I don't see them, I'll have a plan for the next steps to move on to another job. 9, I hate my career, but it's the perfect for my kids. And I wish I had cross-trained or something. I would change to now to be my own boss or work from home or more. I'm tired of doing what I'm doing. Soul deep tired. Again, and the crazy thing is, there's men that pave pavement, right? There's men that do the dangerous, hard jobs that keep our society running. For example, there's a guy that dies to get us crab in the United States of America. There's like crab fishing boats, and a man dies every time to get us crab every time they go out. And we complain because of like a desk job. It's amazing to me. I wanted to be a doctor when I was in high school, but the 17-year-old me wasn't found on the path to get there. Mainly, I didn't want to be stuck on a 10-year track with no way of getting off without it. Saddling myself with huge amounts of debt. Do I regret it? Not really. But I did look at becoming a doctor again a few years ago, and I wish I had looked into it maybe a little bit earlier. Maybe in my late 20s. I'm in my mid-30s now, and I feel like the door has closed for me. I know I could still do it at any time, as I don't doubt my ability to excel in academic environments, but everything else around it, like opportunity cost, the intensity of residency, and the inability to choose where I would end up for school and residency. All of those things don't sound appealing anymore, and I want stability, community, and to put down roots. I also know that the grass can be greener on the other side, especially in healthcare in the United States, where providers face burnout like no other. If I were to win the lottery tomorrow, I'd likely give it a shot and only apply to schools in my area where I'd want to live. But without the lottery money, it's not worth it since I already make a tech salary, and that is as high as some doctors. 11, I'm a teacher, and I'm not happy. I wish I hadn't rushed to graduate. When I realized that I wanted to major in computer science, I was already in my 3rd year of college, and I didn't want to spend 3 or 4 years at college. I just wanted to graduate on time, and now I look back and regret it, and I plan on switching careers. And what I think we should take away from this is that we're never happy. Like our gender, we just are always complaining. We're never happy. There's very little gratitude because, I mean, some of these jobs have great work-life balance, like teachers. Doctors are complaining. Tech jobs are complaining that make more than doctors. Like we just have a tendency to complain about everything. I fell into my career and completely regret it. There are days I don't mind it and actually like it, but for the most part, I hate it. It's a very unstable career when the times are good. It's great. But when the job market takes, it gets really bad. I should have done something more creative, technical, or mentally stimulating. 13. I went into business for myself and became a boss, and I hated every minute of it. Never again will I be a boss or own a business, especially in this economy. Number 14, I hate my career. I hate it. There are a million things I wish I would have done, but specifically, I don't think I would have been capable of them at 18. For the most part, I think I made the best choice I could have made given who I was and what I was like back then. So I've mostly come to terms with my career field at this point. My biggest regret is staying in a toxic job as long as I did. 15, I wish I hadn't taken my first job out of graduate school. It was abusive as F. Psychopathic management, and that job ruined my health in ways that I'll have to deal with for the rest of my life. I was caught up in competing with peers from school, and I felt like I needed to stick with this job because it was the only thing I got after graduation. I should have had higher standards for myself and how I wanted to be treated, but also gentler with how I feel and with how I feel like I need to meet certain benchmarks in life to be successful. And finally, this user shared how important it is to check on yourself and not let the thought of forever fool you. My regret is thinking I need to decide on a forever career. It only makes me feel constantly dissatisfied, and it's such a big thing to figure out. Now I view it as, what can I do in the short to medium term? What supports my life goals and priorities? I reevaluate occasionally. Do I need to change? How big of a change? Can I talk to other people who do other jobs to see what I might be able to work towards? This also ensures that I stay open to opportunities that I wouldn't have ever thought of. There are so many jobs I didn't know existed when I graduated from university, and I continue to learn about new ones. Who knows where I'll end up? If you're 30 plus and want to share your experience or advice that you have when it comes to career regrets, feel free to share your story in the comments. So, women fought to go to work, and while some women do get fulfillment out of their careers, what I would argue is that a lot of women did not realize how hard a lot of the careers are and how long forever is. And in the industries where women don't benefit off of beauty, it can be very difficult, like engineering, education. But what's amazing to me is there's no articles like this for the man's jobs that are much more difficult and grueling. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.